call the security guards at a sandstone store. Guardians of the Galaxy.
That right there was a very proud dad moment for me. That was at the KCRC Midwest Challenge last March. That was one of our first comps outside Crawlapalooza. That was my first comp with really dedicating a truck for comping lightweight, shaving weight, getting rid of a lot of unnecessary stuff, getting it low. And that was my son's first actual comp that he was able to actually compete in. And he did fantastic. He was just in the zone that day and just focused. Said we didn't really have him a comp rig, he still was getting used to driving the trucks and stuff like that. He ended up placing 19th out of about, there was 65 or 75 people in class 2 there. So I thought that was just phenomenal. And especially on that particular gate had been hindering people throughout the day. Lots of people going up, even my rear wheel slipped and I tagged the gate when I went through, but he just focused and just creeped and made it through it. And the crowd cheering him, everyone just kind of giving a big old holler, just really lit up his world. Big old smile on his face. And from there, he was like, oh, I like this. Let's do some more comping. Let's do this again. So I said, we really didn't have a comp rig for him. He was just driving just a axial 10-2 raw builder's kit. Nothing crazy. Tires were just some cut Traxxas Canyon Trails that came off one of our TRX 4s. So after that, it was like, okay, well, let's actually get you a dedicated comp truck. So that's what we did. So we're going to go over in this video, go over his truck, but also this is going to meet two purposes. One, going over his, and also if you're wanting to build a very capable Gspeed crawler on a budget, this is going to fit very well, because this was a very budget build for us at the time when we started this last year, when the things started happening and everything going down. So I said this was a very budget build for us. I'm not a rich man by any means, but I splurged on some things. But for this one in particular at the time, this was a very budget build together. We kind of pieced it, and upgraded it kind of as we needed to. So here we go, visually outside. Overall it came out looking pretty good. He picked the J Concepts Creep body. Nothing too fancy, but for comping does work really good. Lightweight, narrow, big wheel wells already. Picked the paint scheme and everything like that, so everything worked good. And also just building this was something really good, that something he enjoyed and really tries to do, and it's something we can do together, which is always a plus in today's world. So underneath, we using a Gspeed V3 chassis in carbon steel. So we took his 10-2 kit. We got some parts ordered. Like I said the Gspeed package deals weren't available at the time when we started building this, so we pieced this one together, and this was budget. So we got the carbon steel rails, got the battery tray, Gspeed battery tray, the Team Garage Check servo mount, and the Gspeed panhard mount. And then for skid, we just have a 3D printed skid underneath. So these prices don't exactly reflect initially what I spent. Like I said, the package deals weren't available at the time. They are now, and they are a deal. So this would be the raw carbon steel V3 package deal. In the package deal, you have the frame rails, skid, sliders, and a panhard mount. And none of these prices include taxes or shipping. On the Gspeed website, that raw package deal is $89.98. In addition to that, we got the Gspeed battery tray, which is $14.88, and the Team Garage Check dual servo mount, which is $29.98. So, like I said, without taxes and shipping, you're looking about $130, and that is what we spent to get the swap. So we swapped everything from the 10-2 over, 3-gear transmission, axle shocks, stock links, everything, swapped everything over that we could. And it worked, and he would ride that for a while, and then we'd upgrade a little bit here and there, and a little bit here and there, until we got to where we're at now. and then we've kind of taken a break from it for winter time and whatnot. So like I said, all that worked great, and he rocked the 10-2 shocks as long as he could rock 10-2 shocks. Then we did change them out to the 90mm SSD scale shocks that came out of my Trail King kit. So we got those, put them on there. I said this was budget, a lot of hand-me-downs on his, over to his build. So then we got his shocks upgraded, and then I did pick up when IERC started making some of these little smaller bumpers. This is an IERC dual bar bumper. You know, simple, and I think they're about $20 or $25 from IERC. Great products. I have their bumpers on just about everything on there. And then I said we rocked the 3-gear for a while, and then when I upgraded my truck to the Team Garage Hack Tulo, we took my Stealth X transmission and put in his rig. The Stealth X transmission is also a very good budget transmission to start with, because the Stealth X comes with, out of the box, the optional 6% and 12% overdrives. Well, since that's came out, Hot Racing and I know Team K&K have came out with optional transmission gears to increase that overdrive percentage even more, to roughly 24 to 25% overdrive. So inside of here, we have the Hot Racing UD2 gears. So those gears increase, like I said, increase that percentage roughly 24 to 25%. And so the Hot Racing gears are, let's see, $24. So, I mean, if you had to buy the Stealth X new, I believe they're about $50, and then the gears for another $24. So, you know, $75. You have a good, solid transmission with a very aggressive and good amount of overdrive. And it's worked great. The only downside to the Element Stealth X transmission is it is a heavy transmission. It is heavy, a little bulky, but in my opinion, I believe the gains from the internal overdrive that you get out of it outweigh that. And so that's me. I've liked, I know several of our local guys run the exact same combo, and they do good with it. I rock that combo for a long time. So budget-wise, you know, transmission, if you were to get everything new, you know, it's, you know, $75. Now, if you were to start with an Element as your donor vehicle, which is also another good option, an Element kit's about $230, and again, everything would swap over. The only difference if you're using an Element versus a 10-2 is the panhard mount. If you're using the Element, you're going to want the Gspeed multi-point panhard mount, which is, I believe it's $15. Let me double check just to make sure. But anyway, yeah, that would be the only difference you would need there. Everything else is going to be the exact same. Yeah, it is $14.98 without taxes and shipping, obviously. So you would get that. And that multi-point mount will actually work as well with the 10-2. You just have to do some adjustment there on the panhard bar. So get that swapped in. So if, yeah, like I said, if you're using Element, you already have that Stealth X transmission. So then you can just do, you know, $24 upgrade for the gears, and you have an instant performance increase. And then links, you know, like I said, we upgraded his lowers to some high clearance links just to get him there. And then relatively so, I mean, everything else was just, you know, kind of pieced together, but it works, so we'll rock it. Electronics wise, even on a budget, kept it brushed for him. He has that still, you know, Send It mode. So budget wise, we went with the Homes Hobby Crawlmaster Sport 540 13T. So it's a 5-slot motor, so it is smoother start, and does have a lot of control, but it also still has plenty of wheel speed if needed. And then for ESC wise, we actually rock the Spectrum Firma ESC receiver combo, which I've had great luck for. And again, that was another part of the budget that was pulled out of a 10.3 kit that we had that we were using the axles for. Ended up liking this ESC combo a lot, and actually use it in several of his. So it is an ESC and receiver combo. It is 4-channel, plus cool, it has 2 additional auxiliary plugs here to plug in like lights or an accessory. So if you're running lights, you can use those and save your channels on your receiver, and it's still 4 channels, so you have, you know, still run, you have your servo, your steering servo, but then you can run, you know, rear steer, servo winch, dig unit if needed, if that's what you have on your vehicle. Still plenty of channels for all that. That's it. So, and the reason for choosing this, again, this was kind of a budget build. So if we went with like, just your average 1080 ESC, they're $40, and then a Spectrum 3-channel receiver is $35. So for $5 more than the receiver, for $40, I can get both. And it is waterproof, which again is good, especially if he's driving sometimes. And it's worked good. We've only ever ran it on 3S and lower turn motors, haven't had any issues. And then servo, we just, again, this was a budget build at the time, so it's just a cheap little 20 kg servo. We'll be upgrading this for him soon. It's time he gets a big boy servo, so we're going to be changing that out with a Three Brothers RC here soon. As far as motor and ESC wise, it's really up to him. If he likes it, we can keep it. If we want to upgrade it, we can upgrade. Don't know what we'll go with him yet. Maybe if we do go brushless, we'll probably go with good old Mamba Micro X ESC and a 2000 kV yellow jacket. So we still have that smoothness and control. Get down. What is wrong with you? So roughly, I mean, between the ESC, motor, and servo, for like $75 in electronics on him. So again, very, very budget build we had going on here. And then wheels and tires. Wheels we did get. He saw these one day at the store at the Hobbytown and really liked them. So we got him from some SSD 5-slot wheels. They just actually fit the build very well, and they're easy to assemble. They're lightweight, and they look good. And then tires, thing I did, I wanted him to have a good set of tires. And I've been running Voodoos on mine, so we're going to get him some. So I got lucky and locally acquired some OG KLRs through trade here local. They were good, not much runtime on them, not cut up or anything like that. So worked perfect, and again, fits budget. We just had to do a little bit of trading, but I will, new prices and everything too. I'll try to list some of that. And then foam wise, we are running Voodoo, the Halo Ultra Air Downs here in the front, which for his weight build fits very well. And then we're running Halo Yellow Dots here in the rear. I said total weight wise, there's really not much to this truck, or even just building a budget truck. There's not gonna be much to it. And also, even still being the carbon steel chassis, which is the heaviest, even his total weight with a battery, he's setting at like 5.2 pounds. So we still managed to have a very light and capable truck on a budget and a piece together type of build. Now if I were to upgrade it to like the G10 or carbon fiber, I could easily get it below 5 pounds, but he knows the way this truck drives, and we're going to stick with it, and it's worked, so we're going to rock it as long as we can. So overall, like I said, this was a very budget build at the time. We probably, you have a builder's kit, and then your Gspeed materials. So, starting from scratch, you're looking about, 180 to about 300 to 340 in just the swap wheels and tires. That's all on your choosing. Everyone has their own tires they use or wheels they use, or a surplus of that. But if you're just building straight from that, about $300, we got a very good and capable comp rig ready to rock and roll. And I said, just because it was a budget build doesn't mean it's not capable and not worthy. Like if we were at a comp and something happened to mine and I couldn't run it for some reason, I wouldn't think twice about throwing a battery in his and running the gates with it. I wouldn't worry about it. This truck, with the weight and everything it's going, it has a great side hill ability, great incline ability, and it does have control. So I said, you don't have to let, just because you don't spend a lot on the build doesn't mean it won't be capable. Again, a lot of that capability comes with tuning, whether it be tire and foam choice, suspension tuning, and just your overall your weight bias. Getting weight in the right places can still make a capable build on a lower budget without spending, $500,000-$600,000 in parts. Now, some of mine, obviously, I have spent that, but you don't have to. And that's one thing a lot of people see, and I've mentioned in my other video, a lot of people think building that, it's going to cost a fortune. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. Like I said, I'm not a rich man by any means, and putting this together at the time was a very budget build for us, with the way things were going, and we accomplished it, and is very good. Like I said, this has done good. It's competed at all of our local comps with him driving, and he's done great every time. So got a little running videos of it afterwards out of here just to show you what it's done. So hope you enjoyed. Hope it answers some questions or gives you some tips on where to start. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Slow. Turn your wheel. There you go. Nice and slow. Straighten the wheel. Nice and slow. Turn, turn. Little bit. Straighten the wheel. There you go. Turn the wheel a little bit. To the left. Other left.